that how this horoscope background corresponds.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, I hope that this format will be very useful, not only for people who are listening, and I hopefully will be motivated by people like you, because you achieved a lot in your sphere of life, in your activity. So it's fantastic to see from point A to point B, but as well, I hope that for my guests, it would be useful as well. So,
okay.
What I learned from you, 12/12, 1971, actually have a powerful energy of pupil, a person that never ever stopped to study, to learn from everything.
Yeah.
Please, if I'm right in this or not, because 12...
You are, and I'll tell you why. Look at this pile of books here. I don't know if you can just about see it. I love studying, I love reading, I love watching videos, so I love learning from people as well. So yeah, I'm a constant learner.
Yeah, that's very amazing. But not only that, you're just a person who was born in the same energy of like pupil, energy of months, and energy of the day. So I wanted to know what is, and a person who is studying from everything, tell me please, what actually did you get from your first teachers, who are your parents? From your children, who are our teachers as well,
Of course.
but you return them back, and actually from your clients as well, because your teachers, they come to you. You're never looking.
Exactly. I find, and you're right. So the teachings I've got from my parents are, you know, no matter good or bad, how I am today, you know, when I reflect back, is because of how I've been molded by them. Sometimes when we look back and there's great times with your parents, sometimes there's bad times. And actually, I find it's through the bad times I've probably been molded more. And I think the growth has come from the challenging times. And that's so true with anything that we do now, especially with my clients, that a lot of our growth comes from when we're challenged, because when we're challenged, we learn the skills, we get that determination, build the resilience to move forward. And I think that's where we get a lot of our learnings from. So definitely I have that from my parents, you know, a great childhood and everything. But you know, there's times where I was always told off, where I maybe misbehaved, or my father told me I had to do certain things in a certain way. And, you know, I'm a high achiever. I remember, in fact, it was a discussion I was having only yesterday. If I came home with 98% in an exam, I wasn't congratulated. I was scolded for missing out on 2%.
It's like that.
Yes. So these are the kind of things I take, you know, so these are the lessons. So for me, it's a case of understanding that actually that is acceptable. You know, you can't always attain perfection, and it's about acceptance as well. So there's a lot of learnings there. And again, with my children, it's knowing, since I became a coach, that I remember a few years back, my mindset was very much like my parents: attain grades, get high grades, because when you get high grades, you'll have better opportunities. But I think it's, since I became a coach, it's made me realize that that's not necessarily true. Some of the most successful people in the world dropped out of school, no grades. So really, it's more about enjoying the process. So what I say to them is, I'm not worried about your grades. What I'm worried about is the effort you put in. If you're being challenged, overcome those challenges, you know? So that's what I'm trying to get them to understand. It's about enjoying the journey, understanding you're going to have challenges, but how do you overcome those challenges? Because I truly believe if you put in the effort, you're going to get your results. So that's a lot of the learnings. That's the same with my clients. When I'm working with my clients, it's challenging for them. You know, they've come to me because they've got a challenge in life. So I'm helping them. I'm challenging them even more. And by doing that, they will grow and receive the results and the goals that they're going out to achieve. Big life lessons.
Even you for maybe, I don't know, half an hour, actually, you changed my life a lot, because you said just few words and you gave me a feeling that everything can be real. All can come true. So I really need that sensation by the moment, and you felt it, that I need this boom, 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 and it was done. Thank you.
No, definitely. And I remember talking to you because you had so many great ideas. And this is the thing, a lot of people have a lot of ideas, and what they fail to do is to put them into action. And I remember the conversation we had, that you had so many ideas, but what you were showing me that you were taking small steps of action. And I remember it was about accelerating those steps. And it's really trying to understand, well, how can we make bigger strides, bigger steps towards the goals we want to achieve?
Thank you so much. But tell me please, what is your basic, what is your classic education, and how did you get to the coaching, executive coaching?
Of course. So I'm a scientist by trade. So I did, so I studied in sciences. I went and did a bachelor's in chemistry, a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, after which I did a master's in analytical chemistry, and after which I did a PhD in toxicology, studying mechanisms of disease, anti-cancer research. However, having spent that much time then doing science, and almost a lifetime, I got bored of it. And it was then I decided I needed to do something different. And I applied for a role as an IT graduate, an IT, non-PhD IT graduate for an investment bank. So I went into the world of investment banking and IT. I became an IT professional. And as I did that, I started managing people, managing teams, learned a bit of coaching. And it was only a few years later where I probably had enough again. I thought, something else I need to do. And I discovered coaching. Through being coached myself, I had my own life coach. And through being coached, I really understood, actually, this is something I'm really enjoying. I want to do this. I researched it further. And I ended up doing a practitioner's diploma with the Academy of Executive Coaching. And that'll be 6 years this month. So I've been a professional life coach now for 6 years.
I think we're gonna celebrate 60 years. A lot.
Yeah, I hope so.
You really. You have that energy that you can pass to people, that very life-changing energy. But what actually was your life-changing moment? Maybe, I don't know, some kinds of falling down, I'm sorry, or trauma, or some really like point of no return, when you understand now or never.
I guess it was, I guess I was always a kind of person who was fearful of taking chances. I'm a very risk adverse person. So even though I always had ideas, and to be truthful, I was very much of a fixed mindset. So for me, it was always about grades. I always had to have qualifications. I never believed in my own confidence. I always needed a certificate or some letters behind my name to prove that I was capable of doing something. And that's probably what held me back. As much as it took me forward, it also held me back, because it didn't allow me to do some of the things I was probably more than capable of doing. And the changing point actually came when I came across my life coach. Here was a man who wasn't really qualified as a life coach. He was a trainer. I used to work for a corporate, and I'd been sent on a training program. And this guy, basically, he was a trainer, but also he said that he coaches in his spare time. And that was okay. It kind of made me start thinking, I wonder what it would be like. And I really like this guy. And then a few months later, he gave us another training. And this time I put up the courage to go over and have a chat to him afterwards and saying, listen, I'm really interested in being coached by you, because I'm feeling I always felt once I started working that my life wasn't going where I wanted it to. It wasn't fulfilled, that there must be something more to than just working. And it was through being coached through him that I had that transformative experience. And that was my life-changing moment, I think, probably about 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's all about relationship between people.
Yeah.
We can be very close and be guarded and very trustful with the others. We keep distance forever. Okay. So, what interesting through your horoscope, that your karmic task is to gain qualities of Aquarius. What does it mean? It means to be friendly, positive, easygoing, and very giving, actually, and know how to switch on your mood, actually, what you are passing to people as well, how to switch from bad to good, from negative to positive. And but in previous life, your karma was to be lion. Lion, it's all about being in center of attention. So sometimes when we come to this life, we still remember, because we have past life and memory, of course. So, please, how do you combine this ability to be in super center, if I'm right or not, please tell me. And from start being so easy and being so equal to others.
Okay. So I'm, as a personality type, I would say I'm fairly introverted. So I don't like necessarily to be the center of attention. I don't like big crowds. However, again, it was through my coaching that I realized that when I'm speaking to people, they're interested and they become engaged. And actually, when we're in a group, if I'm talking about my coaching and how I can help somebody, that's when I don't mind being the center of attention. That's when an audience might gather around and be interested in what I want to hear. But other than that, you're right. I'm very much of a giver. I want to help people. I do it a lot, give myself a lot, probably too much sometimes. But that's okay, because that's what makes me happy. And I think that the purpose of me being a coach is for my fulfillment. And that's what I enjoy. However, you're right, being that center of attention, it only really happens when I'm helping and giving, not otherwise. It's not to boost my ego or out of any kind of self-importance to show, hey, look, great guys, look how great I am. No, it's very much about how can I help you? And if it's in a big group and I'm the center of attention, great. And that's how I do it.
I discovered why you're so active, because to tell the truth, each time I text you, you're always there. And I think I'm not the only one. You are there for everybody. That's amazing. That never happens in life, because people are quite, I don't know, they don't really care about life as others. And you do. It's your Martian energy and second field that gives a lot of business possibilities as well, by the way. I think, do you got some parallel businesses as well, not only coaching? Because you know your Martian energy can be super active in super different fields.
So like I said, when I was doing my IT work, that's all I ever did. And because I had a fixed mindset, I didn't think I was capable of much more. And it's through the coaching now, because I meet so many different people. I meet entrepreneurs, business owners, and it's through them I'm getting a better understanding of business. So where is it that I can be doing other things? So yes, with coaching, I've started to explore other avenues of possibly passive income, how I can help startups and possibly become equity owner. And that is something that I've been looking at, and probably something I will grow and explore even more. But my true passion right now is helping. And like you said, that wanting to be there for people, I think that stems from what I've always done through my family, through my university life, through my working life. It's about developing people, being there, the high level of customer service. And that's what I've enjoyed doing. It is about helping, but it's helping there and then. Because if somebody needs help and they're crying out for help or they want help, it's then. They don't need it next day or a month later or a week later. They're asking for your help because they need it there and then. And that's my job. That's what I do. Then I follow up. If it's possible for me to help, I will do it there and then. If I say, can it wait? I will wait. It really depends.
So actually you followed your voice of your internal world, of your heart. It was the base for your profession, helping profession, I mean.
I think so, yes. I very much think so. Because it was only through being coached myself, I understood that everything I had done was about helping people. So I'm the oldest sibling. So I've got 2 sisters and a brother, but maybe 20, 30 cousins. But I'm kind of the oldest, so people would always come to me. Throughout university, I would look after pastoral care of undergraduate students when I was doing my PhD. So again, I had that, not father figure, but a person that people would come to me for help, assistance. And then throughout my working life, I was a manager. I was always developing staff, promoting staff, helping them, conflict resolution, always there to help people develop and get better. So I guess that's just been innate in me, in my nature, through my upbringing.
We started with karmic tasks, but how did you determine your own mission here? And do you believe in karma or not? Or you're just a person of action?
I'm a person of action, but I firmly believe that if you give out, you will receive. I do believe that. It's like the whole law of attraction and everything. I do believe, because I give so much of myself, sometimes people might think, oh, that's so unselfish of you. But I actually think I'm quite a selfish person, because I too also understand that if I give out loads, I don't expect it back, but I feel it will come back to me. I give out because I enjoy giving out. I feel happy and it fulfills me. But there's another part of my brain telling me, don't worry, give it all out because it will all come back. more than enough, tenfold, 100-fold.
It's interesting. By progressions, I counted that you had very life-changing moment that was connected with children or maybe changing of business partner when you were 37 years old. Is it true or not?
37, so let me think. That would have been...
7.
So that's nearly 11 years. Yes, actually, I'd been at that point. Yeah, I'm trying to, it's there or thereabouts, because at that point, I'd been working for a company for nearly 11 years, and the company had been taken over. My whole role was completely different, and I was on a path to be made redundant, but that was okay. I'd accepted that. And it was that path that allowed me to make certain changes that then took me onto a bit of a coaching path as well. So that was a big change at that point, yeah, with my work.
Oh, yes. So, wow, when I look at your map, it's fantastic. I will tell you later because, you know,
Okay.
so many possibilities. Oh my God, support of the government, of very influential people, opportunity to trade and to be like a sunshine for society and really life-changing person, not for only one personality, but lots of people, very big project on very high level, international level. And incredible, so many projects could be guided by you at the same moment. So you're full of others. And interesting fact that immigration gives you changing life completely and search of new destination in life. Did it happen in you in your life? And why did you choose London as a place of living, or you were born there?
No, I'm originally from the Midlands. I've lived
I
in
know,
the...
the chair, please.
Yeah, no, so I've lived out in the, I was born in the Midlands. Throughout my university life, I've travelled all over the UK. I also lived in the US for a year. Whilst I was working for the investment bank, I used to spend a lot of time in Germany. But it was my job, once I'd finished my PhD, that made me move to London. And to be honest, I didn't ever think that I would move anywhere. However, as I have more international clients, as I've traveled more through coaching, it's all over the place, to be honest. What it's shown me, and especially now with COVID and lockdown, that I've been coaching a lot of international clients through Zoom, through video. I don't need to be here. So I truly believe that actually at some point that I may move, the family may move. My daughter has aspirations to be in the US. Who's to know that we don't move there eventually? So, I've always had a draw over there. At one point before I started my master's, I had a position to go and do a PhD at Georgetown University on the East Coast, a very prominent university, but which I didn't take up. So you never know, things could change. I'd be very open to it.
Wow, interesting. Me personally, I have 2 people as an example of some kind of my profession, I could say. I really want one day to interview Oprah. Can you imagine?
Okay.
Yeah. And Tony Robbins. Tell me, please, do you have dream client?
Do I have dream clients? For me, I have dream clients is like, I would love to. It's turned around. So over the past few years, I will sit and watch TV. Somebody comes up on TV and I think, oh, I'd love to interview. No, I'd love to coach that person.
Yeah.
Say a Premiership footballer or an actress or a celebrity, or even a prime minister. There was times when prime ministers are going through so much turmoil. It's not necessarily I believe in their politics, but sometimes I think, wow, how amazing would it be, or what difference could they make if they were being coached to the best of their ability? Could they make a big impact? So for me now, not necessarily people who are already established, but maybe somebody that's up and coming that can make a huge difference to the world, I think. And somebody like, you look at that, the lady politician out in New York, Alexandria Cortez, somebody like her, and I think, wow, there's an up-and-coming person. If she's getting the right coaching, could it go on and become the next president of the US? Or sometimes you look at young footballers that just break into academies for Premiership clubs, and I think, wow, if they get the right kind of coaching, they're probably getting great coaching anyway, but sometimes mindset coaching, some kinds of coaching that's not affiliated with what they do day to day, how different and impactful could that be? Because sometimes when you look back at great successes of people, I want to be part of that. I don't want to go into somebody that's already successful and help them. I want to be able to take somebody that's doing great, but make them the best possible. And I want to be part of that journey. So that's what I do. So I can't give you really a name, but that's the type of people I want to coach. Somebody that's going to become the superstar in their field.
Your moon position says that you're very emotional about your philosophy, about discovering new continents, new cultures, and actually about education as well, and about your connection with one of the parents. Could you share that emotional part of you?
Some would say I'm not. I mean, I get very energetic, as you can tell, my hands move. When I'm talking about what I love, I'm full of passion, full of energy. And I think that's what a lot of my clients like, because that energy and motivation they take on board, and that helps them. In terms of, yes, I think education is important. Yes, I don't, like I said, I don't worry about grades, but I do think that it's important to get a broad education. I think, again, this is from my own experience where, I achieved a lot in education, but it was very finite. It was going down and narrow. There's so many parts of education, like financial planning, life skills, that people don't learn. So I think to try and get a broader education is important. And when I work with my clients, a lot of what I do, sometimes they come to me and they're successful people, but because they want more success, and sometimes it's not about learning more of what they need to do, but learning more of other things, broadening their horizons to really make a bigger impact. So I think that's really important. And then when it comes to my parents, I think it's probably, I would say I'm closest with my mum, my mother, but I find it's probably my father that's probably I've learned the most from, how not to be and also how to be. So I think that's probably the biggest learning. So the person I'm probably the least closest with has probably had the most impact on my life.
Yeah, moon actually, it's mostly connection with the mother, very close, important, respectful.
Yeah.
But we all connected. We all are our parents, actually, by the end of this story. And another thing, your Uranus planet, that is always significator of everything new, has a very powerful position in your horoscope. Tell me, please, do you really always need something new information, new pros, know-how, something moving in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't used to be like that. I used to be I didn't like change. To an extent, I probably still don't, because, I used to want to be very comfortable. But again, that's the trait of a fixed mindset person. They don't want things to change. Whereas I think as I became a coach, and as my own mind has now started to evolve, I want to see more change. I embrace change. I want to learn more. When people say to me, who do you follow, in terms of, people follow coaches or mentors, I don't, because I don't find I get anything new or useful from them, because I've watched them so often, and anybody new that comes along is just rehashing old material. So the people I follow are like psychologists, neuroscientists, people who are at the forefront of their research, because when they publish it and articles or books come out, I want that information. I want it because then I want to be able to disseminate it and understand how that I can apply that to my own clients and my own life. That's important for me.
So you just changed the type of changes you really need.
Yes, yes.
You see changes in your client, and that's your demanded change. Great.
Yeah.
So another thing is interesting. Compound of Sun and Mercury and Jupiter in Sagittarius gives you extra optimism and talent to convince people. Is it true? And have you ever heard about another alternative type of profession where you can use your talent of a big speaker and convincer?
Oh, as a convincer, I don't. To be a convincer, you need to be, I think, a salesperson. I always say I'm not a salesperson. I'm not. I like to present the facts and let people make their own decisions. So sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should have been a lawyer or a solicitor or something. I'm not one to, I'll argue a case, I'll present facts, may bring some emotion into it, but I don't force people to make a decision. I truly believe that I'm the same. I don't like anybody forcing something on me. I want to be able to make my own decision in my own time. And therefore, that's what I do with other people as well. I'll present science, I'll present emotional, spiritual, whatever I need to present to somebody for them to make up their decision. And in their own time, I let them make their own decision. I guess that's how I do it.
Great. And as I told you before, you have very, very strong natal map. And universe gives you a lot of possibilities. I don't know, your natal map, your horoscope, individual horoscope shows that you can meet a lot of influential people who can support your projects. Do you have a dream project that you want to be supported on governmental or international level or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I say is the reason I got into coaching was to help people. But the bigger thing about that is that, you know, we're on this planet, it's probably not in its best condition. Little old me can't make much of a difference. People who have a lot of influence, a lot of wealth can. So sometimes I think if I'm able to coach those kind of people, I think it will be ideal. If I can coach people who are influential, have resources that I don't have, they're going to be able to make a big impact. So I always believe that I want to be able to change the world one coaching session at a time. And that's what I want to be able to do, to change the world one coaching session at a time, and to find influential people, whether they're in politics, media, whoever, but people who are influential or through coaching can become more influential. Yes, that is my idea. And I would love that.
After COVID time, people are very upset, lots of them, really.
Yeah.
And what do you could recommend to people how to return their forces back, how to survive, actually, how to find their feel of extra energy, and what is your views?
For me, and this is something, you know, mental health, mental well-being, you know, is a big topic right now. And the one thing I say is you don't want to become overwhelmed by thinking of too much, because that's an issue in itself. When we have so many plans and we don't have the energy, we don't have the action plan to get to where we want to, especially right now, that's additional pressure. So what I say is just do the simple things, and they can be just simple breathing exercises or just going out for a walk. By doing that, and this is something Tony Robbins, this is something that I've heard Tony Robbins say years ago, when you change your breathing, you change your physiology. And when you change your physiology, you change your behavior. And when you change your behavior, you change your actions. It's as simple as that. So change your breathing. So get out and do some walking, do some exercise, or just breathe. That's important.
The body, true. Okay, we are all adults, but we are still children. Tell me, please, by the way, in your map, you have a big responsibility for children. Fantastic significator. Tell me, please, do you have any ideas to work not only with us adults, but with children as well?
Yeah, I mean, with children, I always say, you know, having two of my own, 16-year-old daughter, 12-year-old son, it's at certain ages, it's very directive. But as they get older, it becomes a more coaching approach. It's more about collaboration. It's more about suggestion. It's not about you have to do this. It's, well, actually, as their brains develop, and actually, and as adults as well, it's understanding people's motivations. So aligning what needs to be done with their motivations is important. And you can only do that is by talking to them, understanding them, and spending time with them. So it may be in work or play, and that's key.
Thank you so, so much. And really, the last closing wish to everybody who follows us now.
For me, it's important to listen, learn, but take action. And that's where people fail a lot and people fall over. Action. Do take action. Yeah. So if anything, if you've taken anything from this discussion, is how's it going to help me take action? What is the one thing I can do to move forward?
Rakish, thank you so, so much. You're always amazing. I know I feel your sun energy through
Thanks, Irene.
London to Kiev, by the way. I'm in my motherland. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great place to be connected with your motherland. And I come back to France very soon. So I hope we will be on closer distance to each other, and then one day we'll meet again. Thank you so much.
Definitely, I'll pop over to France. Otherwise, I'll see you in London, hopefully.
Sure. London is very close, by the way. I will.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Take care, Irene. Take care. Bye bye. See you.